Hello, Jayhawks! Today we're doing Super Bowl talk. We all know we've got the Denver Broncos and my hometown Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl this year. With the game coming up this Sunday, I want to hash out some of what went on in the NFC Championship game in Seattle. If some of you guys didn't see the game ended with Richard Sherman breaking up a touchdown pass intended for San Francisco receiver Michael Crabtree. Sherman broke up the pass and the ball landed in the hands of the Seahawks, leading them to finish the game with a win over San Francisco, 23-17. Now, after the game, Sherman, still kind of caught up in the heat of the moment of winning, was interviewed by Fox Sports. Some of you may have seen this, but here's what he had to say.
All right, Richard, let me ask you the final play. Take me through it.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. Don't you ever talk about me.
Who was talking about you?
Crabtree, don't you open your mouth about the best. Or I'm going to shut it for you real quick. L.O.B.
All right, and Joe, back over to you.
Whoa. That was pretty much my reaction after I saw the interview. And social media pretty much had the same reaction too. Social media exploded with trending topics. Richard Sherman and Crabtree were trending all over Twitter. And there was a peak of tweets per minute of almost 175,000 tweets, which is almost equivalent to the amount of tweets that were sent during last year's Super Bowl. Now, Sherman's interview dominated the media. There was no talk of Russell Wilson and the Seahawks' accomplishments. The interview completely overshadowed the accomplishments of his team, and now the talk was all about one player instead of the Seahawks team. Now, after this interview, people were obviously, unsure of what they had just seen. And they started talking. People brought up things about Sherman's past, which includes his upbringing in Compton. And the interview really exposed a side of Sherman that people weren't expecting. He was caught in the heat of the moment, and the adrenaline got to him. And the more people started talking, the more people seemed to be not so fond of Sherman. Even with only 24 hours after the interview, Sherman's reputation was hurt by this. And they forgot about the Stanford man that Sherman was. And people started referring to him as a thug, and now that's what they only saw him as after this interview. Now, the day after the NFC Championship, the Seahawks win to go to the Super Bowl, and of course, Sherman's post-game interview that everyone was talking about, this new commercial I'm about to show you was released. It's a commercial for Beats by Dre featuring the one and only Richard Sherman.
Richard, people are saying, Richard, the atmosphere was electric. What's it like playing in front of these fans?
It's incredible, man. I think we have the most outstanding fans in the world.
How important is home field advantage for you?
Well, we're going to treat it the same as we have all season. We're just going to continue to take one game at a time.
You like the best corner in the league?
I really do. I really do.
Why did you say your trash talk is a distraction to your teammates?
It doesn't distract anybody. It motivates.
What's your responsibility to the kids on the streets in Compton?
Well, you try to set an example. You try to be an example.
How do you cut down on
say your secondary plays dirty?
Well, I take exception to that.
Do you have a problem with aggression?
Not off the field.
Thinks he's so fucking untouchable.
Did you fight a lot as a kid?
Not everybody in Compton's gang, man.
Richard, have you gone downhill since college?
No.
As you're an athlete, do you feel you're untouchable?
I'm not afraid of anything.
What do you think about your reputation as a thug?
I don't have that reputation.
Richard, do you think you are above the law?
Now, timing is everything, and I would say this is a perfect marketing technique by Beats to release this commercial, and it really, I think, helped Sherman out. It was the perfect rebuttal for Sherman's reactions in his interview after the NFC Championship game, and in this commercial, he is calm and collected, and we see the educated person that Sherman is and how he's able to handle himself in this tough situation with these press people. And while his responses are true to himself, it reveals Sherman's personality without the intensity of his previous appearance. Now, the commercial ends with the slogan, "Hear what you want," advertising the noise-canceling headphones. But this also applies to Sherman. People will decide to hear what they want about Sherman based on what they've seen and what they know about him. But in the end, he's an athlete who made a mistake. Sherman wrote in a column in order to try and explain his actions, and he said, quote, "It was loud, it was in the moment, and it was just a small part of the person I am." As an audience, we can forgive him or decide to hold it over his head. But it seems Sherman has realized what he's done is wrong and is looking to move on and focus on the game. Well, with this drama behind us, I think we all know Sunday will be a game for the books. Let's just cross our fingers there's not too much post-game drama this time. Let's focus on the game.